Hello, welcome to a special episode of We Have Issues. I'm Stevie Wildcard, aka Steven.
And I'm Jen Zena.
This is my lovely wife, Tina, my rock, my bottom. But yeah, so I'm here because, I have actually up to 525 followers on Twitter now. Golf clap. And I said I would do an Ask Me Anything. So here are some of the questions that you all felt the need to ask me.
And I just wanted to be included.
She's included. Plus, I wanted you guys to kind of see her a little bit more because she's like basically my life outside of Anthony. So Daniel from the Don't Make It Weird podcast at Dan Q Writes Things has asked me, if you and Anthony LaFusi had to cuddle for warmth, like, I don't know, you're camping or something, and it's totally about survival, who's the big spoon? Now, I mean, I think you can just look right now and just see the size comparison between Tina and I. I believe we had a visitor, didn't we?
I think we might have, yeah.
Was she in her pull-up only?
I don't know, I didn't see.
Anyways, it just messed me up big time. So anyways, as you can see the size difference between just Tina and I, and then you just think about Anthony, like it's very apparent who the big spoon is going to be. And the truth is, I don't know how he's going to get his arms around me, but I'm going to like just take it. I'm just going to love it. No, if anything, I would probably be the big spoon, but you can ask my wife. More than likely within 5 minutes, I'm just going to roll over anyway. So it's
and then Anthony will become the big spoon.
And then Anthony will become the big spoon because he's such a giver. He really is just such a giver. So I imagine he would become, I think we would just basically take turns. It'd be like an alternating big and little spoon. You also asked me what is Less Than Jake, but better than Ezra. And I understand this is like a play on Less Than Jake's name, but I'm going to let you know, man, I did not slap my ankles and dance to ska. I was a part of the 2003 New York scene. So I was like into like Brand New, Taking Back Sunday, all that stuff. So I guess to add to that same question, Christy also said, I would also like to know if the existence of Toad the Wet Sprocket implies the existence of Frog the Dry Sprocket, which once again is playing on the name of a band that I'm not really familiar with. But in an episode of We Have Issues, we covered that there is an alternate reality where Steven and Anthony exist in an alternate universe where instead of the Lost Boys, there's a movie called The Found Boys. So I'm assuming these bands are possibly on that soundtrack. That's why I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Anthony asks, and did he ask, what's the most amount of people you've kissed in a single day? 5. Cambria, Chase, Tina, my mom, and Sarah. We're gonna add 6 because Rachel's in there too. And you know what? I kissed my brother, so Brandon, so that's 7. 7 in a given day.
And we're lip kissers, guys.
We're Tom Bradying it over here, okay? I mean, it's just right on the lips. The camera's like zooming in as it's happening. People are talking about it. It's a whole situation.
Oh, you remember that time you kissed your Aunt Lori on the lips?
Yeah. I edit that out now. Have you ever seen someone pee inside of a house, but not in a bathroom? Now, once again, this is Anthony being my best friend and baiting out a story from me. And the answer is yes. Yes, I have seen that. And actually, if you are fans or follow the Don't Make It Weird podcast, you would already know my brother because he's the child I terrified in full ninja garb. But my brother Brandon used to sleepwalk a little bit. And Anthony and I, because Anthony lived with me at one point, and we were up playing video games late at night, and we're just sitting there smashing buttons, and all of a sudden we hear like water hitting like a plastic bag, and we look over, and my little brother's got his shorts to his ankles, and he's just like pissing on a grocery bag. And we were like, what the hell is, now just so it's clear, like my brother's 10 years younger than me, so like we're probably 18, 19, so he's like 8 or 9 at the time. He is a child, and he is just blasting this grocery bag with a steady stream of 3 a.m. urine. So yeah, I have witnessed that. I have witnessed that, Anthony. And you knew that. You knew that I witnessed that. inevitably get you the job drawing for the Deer Hunter and or Coheed, will you introduce me to Claudio, or are you selfish? Anthony, you know damn well that I'm going to do the art. If that happens, I'm doing the artwork. I'm totally getting you to write the script. I mean, Claudio and Casey, they're going to be busy guys. They're going to be touring, writing new material. They're going to need like not a ghostwriter, but someone just to write the issue. And I'm going to have you right there with me because we have issues. No one else has issues. You know what I'm saying? JD Bernstein at JD_Bergstrom asks, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Now, I even told JD that I was going to have a prop and I was actually going to bite into this lollipop. And my plan was to just bite it, no licks whatsoever. I was going to beat Mr. Owl, but I forgot. So we're just going to assume that I did. I think I have the jaw capacity to crunch a Tootsie Pop.
I feel like your jaw could handle it, but I kind of feel like you'd break a tooth.
My teeth are strong. I'm pretty sure I can do it.
You can do anything, babe.
Cheese. May I offer you this cheese in these troubling times, in these trying times? Is the child still at the door? The child may very well be still at the door. Damon at Moonborn Writer asks, what's your hair care routine? So I brought props. So I don't wash my hair every day, first of all. Even though I work outside and I get crap in it and things like that, I still only wash like every 2 or 3 days. And the first thing I use is the clarifying shampoo, which you can't really see because of the lighting, but it's by Matrix. Matrix Total Results Alternate Action Clarifying Shampoo. So that's just to get like the bad stuff out. And then after that stuff's been, doing its job, I bust out the Matrix Biolage shampoo, followed by the Matrix Biolage conditioner. And that is my hair washing routine. As far as brushing goes, the only time I brush my hair is either to put it in a bun or fresh out of the shower. It doesn't get brushed otherwise.
And what do you use?
I use a wet brush. Yeah, per her. She taught me that technique. If you brush dry hair,
brush from the bottom.
Yeah.
You gotta start from the bottom.
I guess that's where you start.
Up.
I mean, I slick it back really hard, and I slick it the other direction, and I just fight it in every direction, and I just
that causes breakage.
Yeah, I know. I break a lot of hairs. Yeah. My favorite superhero besides Deadpool is Spider-Man. I'm basic. Spider-Man was, I'm sure pretty much anyone in our age range, Spider-Man's probably top tier for almost anyone in our group. But yeah, Spider-Man has like almost like Batman has like this rogues gallery of villains, and they're all cool and unique. And Spider-Man just like comes from this like place of such struggle. He's poor, he lost his uncle. He has all this great power and responsibility. And yeah, Spider-Man was definitely one of my bigger influences prior to Deadpool. I would even say I didn't really get into Deadpool until like maybe like 02, 03, and then I was like super obsessed with Deadpool. I remember reading like Cable Deadpool and like Daniel Way's run, which a lot of people didn't really care for Daniel Way's run, but I actually liked it a lot. And then, of course, went back and read all the Joe Kelly run. I read New Mutants and all that stuff because I just became obsessed with Deadpool. But Spider-Man was definitely my first love, and for sure continues to be. I have Ultimate Spider-Man #1 on my wall over here and stuff like that. So yeah, Spider-Man's definitely up there. Venom, Magneto, Nightcrawler, those are all like characters I like obsess over.
I got him New Mutants 98.
She did. That's up there right now. That's Deadpool's first appearance. She also got me Ultimate Spider-Man #1 too, actually.
Yeah, that's true. I had to hunt for that.
Yeah, I remember that. It's when you lived over there too.
Mm-hmm.
What superpower would I pick? Just one. Teleportation's pretty awesome. I feel like there's a lot of uses you can get out of teleportation. Magneto's pretty amazing too. Magnetism, things like that. He can basically like just mess with magnetic like waves and everything. 1 second. But yeah, like Magneto's pretty sweet. Like, I don't know, like what kind of powers would you pick?
Probably like super strength.
Just super strength, huh?
Yeah.
Just going the basic old. Every character in the comics have super strength, huh?
I'm pretty basic.
Basic. But you're Gen Z, you can't just have basic super strength.
Yeah, but I think about like all of the things I like try to move when you're not here, and it's
jars.
a struggle.
I tighten them on purpose.
Yeah.
I leave
He
objects around
leaves
the
them
house.
so tight, like it's ridiculous.
I don't. Well, I do mean to. It's to keep it fresh. But then I also leave heavy objects around the house for her. Things like that.
You can see the difference in our size.
Yeah, I'm pretty big. I also inadvertently put like often used things very high. Like I'll put like the salt shaker on like the third shelf of a cabinet, Italian breadcrumbs, you know.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's unintentional. It's because it's within my range still, you know. I'm
I'm the one who cooks usually.
Yeah, but yeah, I do that all the time.
You were gonna say that you're a better cook than me, weren't you?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what word did I even say that could have possibly segued into me being the better cook, which I am, but like
you trailed off. I rest my case.
If you had to lose 1 sense, what would it be? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Most of these questions I read over once, I skimmed over and just like kind of did the wild card thing where I'm just gonna, you know, like kind of fly by the seat of my pants. Is that the expression? Like a ballpark? But I did actually just recently ask you this, like, what sense would you give up? And like, what sucks is if you give up like scent or taste, like you're still losing the ability to taste food. But I feel like your sense of smell is the only thing that also has like a negative impact on you. So I feel like foregoing my sense of smell is probably the best choice out of all the senses. I think I need my sense of touch for everything I do, like for pressure sensitivity with drawing and playing guitar, video games. And then like sight is very apparent, ears are very apparent, taste is whatever. But like I said, if I had my sense of smell, I'd be able to smell the basil. I wouldn't be able to taste the basil. It would just be an aroma. So I think I'm just going to give up my sense of smell. What about you?
I would probably also give up my sense of smell.
I mean, I think about like allergies. Half the time I'm tasting it.
Well, and honestly,
anyway.
Didn't you live like a good portion of your life not being able to smell?
18 years.
So, I mean, you kind of already know it.
I mean, I could smell, but just I'd have to go like, I had to like really try. It was, those were bad. Those were sad times.
Stephen had like the world's largest adenoids.
The world's largest, at least for that surgeon. That surgeon came out sweating. Like, yeah, it came to my parents, was like, that's the largest pair of adenoids I've ever removed. Like, I'm just imagining like softballs for some reason. I don't know why my head's big enough. I mean, you see my head size comparison to hers. Like, I'm just assuming my head was big enough to contain that.
We actually measured his head one time. Do you remember that?
It's a 25 inches circumference.
Yeah. So, and it was like 3.5.
2.5, because everyone else was 22.5.
True. Okay.
But still.
Yeah. Significantly bigger than literally everyone else in the room.
Significant. I mean, even Randy's got a big head too, and he was still 22.5. I was like a solid 25, a firm 25 inches. Cheryl at Cheryl B. Writer asks, did you go to art school to learn to perfect your art? And no, I did not. I've just been basically like I didn't really like push to be in like more advanced classes, even though I probably could have been. I just loved to draw like every period, I mean, even at my public's orientation, like the whole time, the whole 8 hours I was there, I was just drawing. And so yeah, I've always just drawn on my own and done my own thing. I've never actually gone to like professional school for it or anything like that. Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. It's just something. Same with guitar. I'm
just hours and hours and hours of
just
doing
it, failing, and then negamanning people's style. You know, that's what I do. How do you get your hair to shine like that? And I'll be honest with you. And like my wife can like confirm, like it's crazy. Like my hair is naturally blonde. I don't color it. I don't do anything. I don't heat treat. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just from sunlight. I work in the sun all the time. So like I get natural highlights from the sun. And my wife has told me that my hair actually even kind of has like the damage of what like a chemical blonde would do. Like basically like the sun's basically naturally.
It's like that sun and sand combination, you know?
I don't know. It's natural. It's all natural. I don't color it. She's offered to pop highlights in and I refuse because I'd rather be able to just say it's all mine.
And realistically though, like your hair color done by the sun is like what we try to achieve behind the chair. You know, we always draw in inspiration by, you know, what happens in nature, and
I am the hairstylist muse when it comes to this color blonde. She also asked, does your wife love your hair? And I'm pretty sure it's a resounding.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she loves it. Of course she does. She made it. These layers aren't natural. The layers aren't natural. My waves doing what they do is natural, but only they do what they do because of what she cuts out. So
Razor cutting.
Razor cutting. She's
Yeah.
really talented. She is. Don Gregg at Live 613 asks, would you rather have to eat the same food for dinner every day? You can pick the food, or only be allowed to eat one food item. Alrighty. No more. Well, kids should be good. So this is like the third edit at this point. So Don Gregg at Live 613 asks, would you rather have to eat the same food for dinner every day? You can pick the food, or only be allowed to eat a food one time a year. So 3 meals a day times 365 days, you would have to eat 1,095 unique meals. Now,
that's a good question.
It is a good question, but Tina and I are very much creatures of habit, and we usually float, like for junk food, we usually float around. It's like chicken wings, burgers, tacos, and pizza. So I mean, like, we're very basic, but I couldn't imagine only being able to eat those 4 things one time a year each.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the first part of the question is implying that it's just dinner. So I think breakfast and lunch can still be other things.
Mm-hmm.
So what would your meal be that you would eat? Because I'm assuming we're just going to go with you would eat the same dinner every day, right?
I would. That sounds like it would be a lot easier. I feel like I need to know more about the stipulations though, you know, because like, for instance, if you choose pasta, there's like a bunch of different ways that you can eat pasta, you know? So like,
and tacos or pizza, like
right.
toppings. I would imagine those things are allowed, right? Those things can be messed with. I'm gonna go tacos for me, because I feel like tacos you could like alternate enough of the toppings inside of it, the different meat choices or lack of meat choices. So I think I'm gonna go heavy into tacos for dinner, and then I guess.
But I still feel like we need to know, like, if you choose tacos, do you have to choose like the same like taco combination?
Well, even if so, would you? Would you eat red sauce and pasta every day
No.
if you chose pasta?
Oh no,
That's what I'm saying.
It's like my childhood all over again.
Yeah, that was my childhood too, except my mom was always like, hey, this is baked ziti, and it was just ziti noodles with red sauce. There was no ricotta or anything like that.
At least mine was like a Sunday sauce.
Yeah, my mom would just call it whatever the noodle was, and then it's just the same red sauce over and over again. Baked ziti. She didn't do it with lasagna. That'd be pretty funny though. I should have said she did. I should have lied to you, but I didn't. I didn't do that. Tacos for me, even if it's the same exact type of taco every day, for sure.
I feel like I would go with like chicken and vegetables. Like, I know that that's boring and whatever, but like, at least I'd probably get like a little trim off of it.
Like, I didn't think about that aspect of it, forcing a dietary restriction with your choice.
Yeah.
That's some messed up stuff over there. That's like, you gotta
diet culture, y'all.
You gotta like abuse yourself because of what's going on over there. You got problems, bro. So yeah, we would both eat the same dinner every day. Hedge Rooster asks, if you could have any animal, creature, mythical beast as a pet, what would it be? Bonus, would you want it large enough to ride? And where would I go with my pet? Well, I feel like the obvious answer is dual ostriches, so I can finally mount both birds like I have drawn in the Ostrich Colony Comics image. But any mythical beast, and I am assuming that includes trademarked monsters from Japan. So if that's the case, ever since I was, 97. So ever since I was 10, I've wanted a Bulbasaur so bad, like a pet Bulbasaur. Like, I wouldn't even involve him. Maybe Ivysaur. Venusaur does not look cool, but maybe Ivysaur. I would go Ivysaur. But like, yeah, I would love a Bulbasaur. I think that's like the one thing I've always wanted. And I think like, yeah, I obviously wouldn't be able to ride a Bulbasaur, but I would have a Bulbasaur, and that'd be really cool. And then hopefully it would like create some sort of like forced Pokemon entry into the world. If I had a Bulbasaur, suddenly other Pokemon start popping up, and then, you know, I leave my family and like start battling and like versus the Indigo League and do all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
What mythical beast would you want after I've abandoned you with my Bulbasaur?
Clifford, the big red dog.
The big red, you just want a giant red dog.
Yeah. Dogs are great. I love dogs.
Clifford was a nuisance. He was a problem.
But he was so cute.
He was sweet.
And you could ride him.
I could ride him.
What
Because
was
the
her
whole
name?
family, our dogs and us could ride him all at the same time.
Yeah.
Eleanor would growl at him.
She would.
She'd growl at them.
She's such a bitch.
Let's see here. That was a pretty good question, though.
Yeah, these are all really good
they
questions.
They all are really
Yeah.
good questions, not gonna lie. Nick at Nick_A_ writes, asks, what's the ideal number of ostriches you'd have in your colony? And that's assuming my wife is approved and we've purchased said colony and we've had ostriches and we have our whole, commune that's living there. Is her child coming again?
The child is back on the escalator.
So
She's having fun.
anyways, so if Anthony's living in the the community as well, Anthony's obviously gonna have his own ostrich. I'm gonna have at least 2, so that's 3 right there. I'm sure my daughters are gonna want 1 each to have their own names and everything. So we're looking at least 5. Do you want an ostrich?
Do they make like pygmy ostriches? Ostrich?
Oh, like pig. I heard pig meat, and I was like a bacon ostrich burger. Like, what are you trying to say?
No, like small ones, like dog size.
Like an emu? They're like 5 foot tall.
Emus. I follow this lady on TikTok, and she has a bunch of emus, and she has one named Karen, and she's like very aggressive.
Yeah, they won the war in Australia. There was a war on the emus, and they won. The birds won against people.
How about that?
How about
I believe it though. They're evil.
Yeah, they do look pretty evil.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want an ostrich. So
I'm afraid.
I think we have 5.
I'm
I
afraid
think
of them.
5 is the answer.
They're like so much bigger than me and faster.
9 foot 2 inches. The males can get.
Yeah, that's
Females, I think, are like 6
insane.
foot tall. But man, just battle steeds, armored battle ostriches. That's the dream, really. If you've been following us at all. Priscilla G at PSIL1234 asks, what's it like to be so awesome? And I even commented back, how in the hell am I supposed to be modest while answering this question? I don't think I'm awesome, first of all. I actually have a lot of self-doubt and a lot of I project a lot of humor because that's what people like me do. But I can, if I'm gonna lean into the fact that you guys really think I'm awesome and I'm awesome, I have to give credit to basically the women in my life. My dad wasn't really, he was, wasn't always present, but my mom, her sisters, my aunts, I had 2 sisters growing up, and then like my first and really my only relationship, Tina, has like completely shaped my young adult life. So like I've just been surrounded by like really emotional and like women that like believed in me and kind of like just gave me like so much love, support, and like I don't know, definitely the women in my life shaped me, if that's what it is. Don't smile at me. Don't do that. Put that smile away. You need to be frowning. You need to be frowning at me this whole time. Yeah, there it is. That's a good frown. Frown at me, Tina. Fanny T. Crispin at FanTC Books asks, what would you say was the defining reason you started drawing comic books? Okay, so this is crazy, but when I was in 6th grade, I met my then best. This is pre-AL, so this is before Anthony Lafusi, BAL, and my best friend was named Tommy. He's since passed, but when we were in middle school together, like he had like this crazy imagination, and he came up with this whole like plot about basically mutated killer baboons that lived in our school's like ceilings, and he basically just like wrote this huge story about this like pack of baboons that like ran around and killed all of our teachers by name. We didn't change names. The resource officer, like we basically just killed every like important person at our school in this comic, and we drew it. And like Tommy could kind of draw too, so we would like, period 1, I'd have the paper and I'd draw like 2 or 3 panels, and then like I'd see Tommy in the hallway and I'd pass it off to him and he would draw 2 or 3 panels. And we basically just created, I think it was ended up being like a 6 or 7 issue arc of these baboons from this school that just murdered people like crazy. And then like we just like went super pop culture with it. At some point, the baboons are in space. Like, I mean, the whole world gets like overrun. Tommy named like the corporate, like his like umbrella, like in Resident Evil. He like looked over at his model cars and it said Revell, so it was like Revell Corporation was like the corporation that made the baboon. It was this whole thing. Like no one was spared. Like I remember like pop culture figures, like even like Elian Gonzalez was like featured in the baboon comic at one point. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like the baboons were it was a crazy crazy mind of Tommy. But yes, so that was my first like foray into comics. And like if we would have gotten caught, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably still be in a padded room because I mean like that was crazy. That was a crazy comic. It reminds me a lot, like, in fact, when I first met Steve Urena and like talked to him about his sloth thing, I said, man, like this is so reminiscent of like a killer animal that's just murder. Like it's so crazy. Like back in like middle school, like my buddy and I had this like crazy baboon comic that was like not the same as Slowpokes, but it was like a variation, you know. Paige at Paige K. Turner asks, do you sleep under the blankets or dare the monster under your bed with a foot out? What do you do?
I sleep with my butt out.
Your butt.
My butt. And we do not share a blanket.
No, see, we learned very early in our relationship that sharing a king size blanket is a fool's game.
Yeah.
It's so dumb because you're just fighting over covers and I mean, you see the size, you know who won the cover war every night. So we eventually learned that if you buy queen or like full size blankets, you each have your own blanket and it's an enjoyable time and there's no struggle. You snuggle beforehand and then you just curl into your own blanket afterwards.
Oftentimes we just kind of like lay down and just hold hands.
Yeah. Or like literally this, like.
It's true.
just acknowledgement. I'm here. You're there. We're sleeping. But no, I have no problem sliding my like whole limbs out of underneath the blanket. So I'm not afraid of any
To be fair though, we don't really have like space underneath our bed.
No, our bed's like on the ground. It's like a platform bed.
Yeah.
So it's completely no. So no, there is no fear here. There is no worry. Who would win, Scarlet Witch or Superman? Man, Paige, I would love to tell you that Scarlet Witch would completely devastate and destroy Superman, but the DC nerds are going to come at me and tell me about the Omni bullcrap 6,000 whatever Superman who can like reset time with a blink or some crap, and like, and then I would be like, well, he's allergic to magic, and then they're going to tell me something about how he's no longer allergic to magic because DC writers basically just make him this super invulnerable piece of crap.
It's like DC writers are Lee.
Yeah, but now he has a force field. Oh, you broke the force field? Yeah, but now he's got like heat ray vision that like goes at like supersonic speed and like it breaks your ankle.
Yeah, but now I'm invisible, so you can't see me.
So like, because if you want my honest opinion, Paige, yes. And I also think Goku could beat him too. But the DC Superman fanboys are gonna eat me alive for saying that. So we're gonna say Superman just for the record. What grosses you out? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Do you remember the stuff?
The stuff did gross me out. The stuff was gross.
Yeah.
So the stuff.
Oh, the stuff.
If you may remember the stuff.
Oh, I hope.
I
don't know how anyone could forget the stuff.
You don't. If you've smelled the stuff, you don't forget the stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what we were thinking, but there was a weird point in time after my mom and dad's divorce where like my mom's house, we had a pretty big house, and like people just lived there. People would show up there, we would just hang out. We had a roommate, Emily, friend of ours, and then Anthony lived there at one point too. But basically, we grabbed an old like Mount Olive jar, just an empty jar, and one day we were all just bored, and we're like, "Yo, what if we put a bunch of gross stuff in here and just like leave it in the garage and then like sniff it in a month?" And so I don't know why we thought that. So we just went into the fridge and we're putting various condiments. Like we make sure to get the ones that spoil, like mayonnaise.
Like there was like yogurt in there.
Yeah, mayonnaise.
Yeah, like ketchup. Anything you would find in a refrigerator.
Salad dressing. I think French dressing was in there.
Do you know what really made it like rank though was that tea powder. It was like this red tea powder, and it literally changed it from like, oh, that's kind of yucky to like, what?
Yeah,
disgusting.
I don't know if any other 90s into 2000s kids remember like the big old containers of powdered sugary tea. It was basically, if you'd ever open one of those, the smell was just so potent anyway. So yeah, we took a big old scoop of that and added it in there. So anyways, we like put this stuff in the garage and like we forgot about it, and then like a month or two later, oh my god, it's the stuff. And like it was separating, there was clears, there was
and it
thicks.
had like, it was like super sealed too.
Yeah, we were obviously inadvertently pickling something because we had vinegars and stuff in there too. So we busted open the seal, and when I tell you, it was like there is nothing else on this planet that smells like what we smelled. I'm not even sure what it was we smelled. To this day, it's still, we don't even know. We're pretty sure it's just in a landfill somewhere, like getting ready to explode.
Do you remember when your mom had cleaned out the garage? She brought it with like where you're supposed to dispose of like paint and like stuff like that you can't like just throw away. She brought it there because we didn't know what to do with it.
We didn't know what to do with it at that point. It had gone too far. So, but yeah, so no, I lied. That's what grosses me out. That stuff was notably horrible. I don't know why we did that. It was so weird that we did that. All right, back from child interruption 5 or 6. Let's see. You can have dinner with anyone alive or dead. Who are you choosing? I said to you it would probably be Tommy, because leading up to his passing, I didn't really get to see him a lot. So I think it'd be pretty cool to have like one more like sit down with him and kind of chat about life and what's happened and what's changed. That would probably be what I do. And I don't want to get too much into it because it's going to break my happy exterior. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But who would you have dinner with? Can't say me.
Why?
Because that's cheesy.
I mean, that's who I would choose, though, to be honest. If I can't say you,
it's me, guys. Let's just accept it.
I don't know.
Let's accept the fact that my wife.
And I'm not like really a super fan of like anybody either, like anybody famous. If I can't say you, then I would probably say Sarah, my best friend.
That lives in Georgia.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it, Paige.
I'm basic.
Steve at SC said by Steve asks, what's your favorite comic book graphic novel? Now I've like basically said this on We Have Issues a lot, but for anyone that hasn't really followed us on We Have Issues, like one of my like, at least for me, besides like Cable Deadpool and some of the early Deadpool runs and stuff like that, one of the books that like really stuck out to me from Marvel, because I'm basic, I'm not cool like Anthony with all the awesome indie comics that he liked, but one of the books that like shaped me was definitely Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender. Like the art and everything in that first like series, like I remember like the trailer on like YouTube, like how it was like, we're gonna kill Apocalypse, and it was like, it's like got some of my favorite characters in there. There's like Deadpool, Phantom X, Wolverine, Psylocke, and Archangel, I believe was the squad. And yeah, that whole run is so great. Like especially like the ending of it, like when Wolverine and I believe it's Daken. I've actually she calls him Daken. I'm pretty sure it's Daken. They have like a final showdown. There's this whole like mixture of like the Age of Apocalypse mutants coming over with like Age of Apocalypse Iceman, who's a villain, and like all these different characters. So yeah, Uncanny X-Force is absolutely my favorite comic book / series / graphic novel. On a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid of non-consensual dolphin sex are you?
Very.
Yeah, it's probably a 10, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm assuming, and maybe I shouldn't be assuming.
I mean, are we on land or water?
I mean, you're in water. Dolphin can't do anything non-consensually on land. What's he gonna do? Like at that point, like
I don't know. It makes me think of that Simpsons episode. You remember that? Where like the dolphins like come up.
So you and
like,
Anthony be like just riffing off each other right now. Why don't you guys get married with your Simpsons? Your Simpsons love. No, but I don't remember that episode. Describe it to me.
I miss Anthony.
Yeah, I miss Anthony too. You need to be here, Anthony. Yeah, I think a 10 because I'm assuming it's going to be a male dolphin for me too.
Well, how large are they?
They're big enough. I bet they're like what, like 600-700 pounds. Let me see.
No, like I mean, they're the
Like-
members.
Oh, how large is a dolphin's brain? Is not what I'm looking for, Google. I'm going much dirtier than brain. just give me a size. Well, first of all, one of the first websites is 9 of the weirdest penises in the animal kingdom, and dolphin is obviously tethered to that. Hold on. They have a prehensile penis. That means they can do stuff with it. Yeah, no, that's a 10.
That's a solid 10.
That's a solid 10. We're not messing with dolphin penises, okay? We're staying as far away from as possible.
I'm curious to know everybody else's answer to that.
Yeah, you should comment.
Yeah, please comment.
I think it's 10. I think it's 10 across the board. There's like one lone dude that's like 1. I want to test the waters. But everyone else, 10s. Who's your favorite Twitter account? Come on. I've done 45 episodes of a podcast with my best friend. He's the one that introduced me to Twitter. It's at Anthony LaFusi. There's zero question that it's at Anthony LaFusi. Honorable mentions are all of the friends that we've met since, but Anthony LaFusi is my favorite member of Twitter. Who's your favorite member of Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. So that's that question.
Mr. Fish is a
Mr.
close
Fish, he's
second.
got a, and not just because he's my friend. Anthony has a solid account. Like he posts amazing questions, funny things. He's really good at dad puns. Like I feel like once he had Atlas, he like entered his final form of puns, and like he like really dropped some good puns. He has amazing puns for movies too. I mean, it's all about puns, but he has amazing thoughts, and he's just a great dude.
Yeah, he's solid all around.
He's a solid dude. Mm-hmm. How many elves does it take to screw in a light bulb?
If it's Buddy the elf, I'd say just one.
Just one if it's Buddy.
Yeah.
That's fair. And also, how high is the light bulb? I'm just going to assume it's a ceiling fan light bulb for reasons. 6.
Are there ladders involved?
No, there's elves. They just stack on each other. Yep.
Well, do you think their hands are big enough on their own?
They could probably not even pull that bowl down. They could probably reach over the bowl and change the bulb out on the side. But yeah, I'm going to say 6 unless it's Buddy the elf, and then it's 1. If you were a food, what would you be? Well, I'm going to answer it too, but I'll throw it at you first.
I feel like I would be one of those desserts that is like really sweet and gooey, but then also has like that Mexican chocolate in there. Like it's like a little spicy.
Like the chili chocolate?
Yeah.
Like the infused, like chili pepper chocolate?
Yeah, like, super sweet dessert with
and I think this just like really goes to show like why we're so terrible for each other, because my suggestion is going to be something savory. And see, the thing is Tina's not a super savory lover, and I'm not really a super sweet lover. But with our powers combined, we just eat all of the calories. So I would probably be like
you'd be a burger.
I'd be a cheeseburger of some sort, probably a black and blue burger or something of that nature.
So what do you think I would be?
Well, no, that makes sense. I mean, I'm always thinking savory, so I would have suggested some sort of savory dish like chicken parmesan or something. But like,
okay,
but you're going sweet route and spicy chocolate, apparently, which you don't even eat. When's the last time you had spicy chocolate?
Because it's not. The question wasn't
what food
would you like.
Why are you spicy?
I mean, don't you think
I don't think you're that spicy.
Really?
No.
You think I'm just sweet?
Yeah.
You're so nice.
You're like maybe a little sassy, but
well, that's like the spice.
It's not spicy.
Well, what kind of food is
like,
sassy?
Sassy is like the banana pepper of the spicy kingdom. Like sassy is not spicy.
Okay, well then I'd be a pub sub with banana peppers.
Like a chicken tender one though? Non-buffalo plain with American cheese.
American cheese, honey mustard.
For those of you that don't live in the South, you're missing out.
Oh, the pub sub.
Let's see. Jax at Jax2_0 asks, you have 80 days to travel around the earth in the most creative way possible. What's your chosen mode of transportation? It needs to be something that can obviously either go over or go through water. 80 days, so it doesn't need to be super fast.
What about one of those like amphibious vehicles.
Limitless gas in it. We'll just give it to it. We'll just give it like a fat
Yeah.
gas tank.
Yeah.
That would be, but think about it. 80 days you're gonna live in that amphibious vehicle. Go big, man. I'm gonna go like
Well, it's got to be able to do water and land, right?
just-
Or
there's
air.
just air. So like hot air balloon, but that's what 80 days around the earth. What is whatever there was. Was it? I'm gonna Fazimoto this. It was the Hindenburg, right?
I cut hair.
The Hindenburg. Yes, it was. I did not Fazimoto that. I'm bringing back that. I'm bringing back the Hindenburg. We're going round 2. We're going to make it around the earth, and it's not going to burst in fiery hell. I'm going to make it around the world. People are going to be cheering. He's like, he successfully landed. And then right as it's about to land, it blows up. Right? But I jump out, and guess what? I have a parachute, and I land. And it's the most epic. It's like burning away as I'm landing on my feet. And I'm like,
You're so majestic.
yeah, so majestic. That's exactly what I would do.
I choose magic carpet.
Like from Aladdin specifically, the
Yep.
purple one.
Mhm.
He had an attitude problem. He'd give up on you after like 4 or 5 days.
He would not give up on me. We
He
would be
was such a
together
jerk.
forever.
He was
Yeah, but he
rude.
was loyal.
Yeah, he was kind of nice to Jasmine too. Now that I think about it, like he was a jerk to Aladdin most of the time.
Yeah. It's just a bad boy.
Lee at Breshnaida asks, with temperatures rising, food growing scarce, and the population dwindling, a billionaire offers anyone free passage to Mars in exchange for a lifelong work contract. Job to be determined upon arrival, decided by artificial intelligence. Would you take the offer or stay on Earth? I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a man that does not take chances. I find a hole and I make sure it's safe, and I will tolerate that hole for a long time. Like stuff has to go down for me to leave that hole. So I'm gonna just assume that if future Steven was ever presented with such an option, that he's probably gonna stick to what he knows, and that's like, nah, I'm staying on Earth. I'm gonna fight whatever mutants are here. I'm gonna survive in this hole, and I'm gonna be miserable, but you wouldn't know it because I'm such a passive dude. I'm just gonna love it. You're gonna think I love this place, and that's what's gonna happen. Everyone else is gonna be leaving to Mars, and I'm just gonna be living here with my family.
Well, and honestly, if everyone leaves to Mars, then there should be plenty of food
If
left
if
for the
enough
Todds.
people leave, right? They're coming for my hair, though. That's the first thing. Like, that's like the whole plot of the movie. Like, people leave from Mars. You know, like food is scarce. One man still has golden locks. Get him! Stephen Todd in Goldilocks.
You're so stupid.
I think that's it, though. Hold on. Yeah, that's it.
Those are great questions,
were great
guys. That was so
questions.
fun.
It was so much fun. Sorry that I'm gonna have to edit this now.
It's okay. They're worth it.
They are worth it. But thank you so much for joining me on my AMA. This is my lovely wife, Tina. At 1,000 followers, maybe I'll do something else. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do a live AMA or something like that.
Ooh, that would be
But
fun.
I am one part of We Have Issues. This is going to be on that channel. Anthony is my best friend, and I love him to death. And I'm sad that it wasn't a dual Ask Me Anything. I guess it's my fault. But
Way to suck, Steven.
yeah, way to suck. Way to steal the
These
spotlight.
hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, I'm not loyal. But no, so thank you so much for following me, following us, giving us everything that you guys give us when it comes to our podcast, and like the support we got on our Kickstarter and everything. You guys are just so amazing. And I'll see you at 1,000.
Boy.